Hi guys, and welcome back to Carry On Baggage, a YouTube channel dedicated to the nomadic lifestyle that I started in a time when no one was traveling. In last week's video, I talked about things that we don't own as minimalists, and while I was making the list for that, it was really hard not to think about the opposite, things we do own and travel with that seem a bit excessive considering how little stuff we own. To give you some context for the quantity of stuff we're talking about here, everything that we own right now fits in 2 backpacks and 1 big suitcase. Then we also travel with a stroller, a car seat, and a crib, but you can't really get away from those things if you have a baby, or at least I don't want to try. And the last thing before we get into it, nothing on this list is something that we packed just in case. I declutter every single time we move, which is averaging out to be like once a month. So everything on this list has passed the ruthless Marie Kondo decluttering multiple times. Okay, let's get into it. First up is sealing wax and a wax seal stamp. Is that what they're called? What can I say? We believe in the lost art of letter writing and sealing said letters with wax seals. It's a very lost art. The stamp itself is our family crest that Manuel designed when we got married because we wax sealed all of our envelopes. So it's a little octopus with our initials on either side of it. Anyway, next up is greeting cards. This is the project manager in me, but I always have 10 to 15 greeting cards with me. I usually pre-buy once a year to make sure I always have a couple staples on hand for like birthdays. But then I also like to just buy them whenever I see cool ones in a store or ones that I know a friend of mine would like, and then I save it until the opportunity arises to send it. What do we have in here? One of my favorite ones that I picked up in like April of last year was this guy right here, which says, "This will be our year." I never actually sent this one out because it always felt like too soon. Anyway, whatever. My other favorite one is this Olsen twin, Collapse for Basic Bitches. Carlton, if you're watching this, I'm saving this to send to you. I love greeting cards. I love sending them. Oh my God, how much are you gonna talk about greeting cards? The last one in the category of kind of like relationships is pictures of my friends. I travel with a large envelope of all of my favorite pictures for like the last 20 years, and then I hang them up all over Airbnbs everywhere we go. It's one of my travel hacks to make any place that you stay at feel like home, and it's especially important being nomadic. Next up, yeast. This is so on brand for this 2020 sourdough trend, but yes, we travel with yeast. Mostly because it's very hit or miss whether a place will have it. In Sayulita, it was really easy to find it, but in Tulum, which is not that far away, we couldn't find anyone that even really knew what yeast was. So we just travel with it because we like to make a lot of bread. Last up in the food category is a cheesecloth. Manuel likes making his own ricotta, and apparently you need a cheesecloth to do it. That wasn't the last one in the food category. Okay, next up, Aveda tea and Coffee Mate French vanilla coffee creamer. I am super picky about morning beverages. I don't like tea. I love this tea, and I don't really drink coffee, but I love coffee if it has French vanilla creamer. It has to be this kind. I'm not really big into morning beverages, but I want to be a part of the club, so I travel with this stuff so that I can have a tea or a coffee like normal people. Are these weird yet? Next up is as many New York Times Sunday crossword puzzles as I can save up and get before we leave the States. I'm one of those people who religiously does the Sunday New York Times puzzle, and I tried so hard to figure out how to get a New York Times delivered to Europe or to Mexico, and they just don't do it. And you can't buy it in the stores here. Internet, please someone tell me how to get the Sunday New York Times delivered outside of the States. I've tried everything. So what I do is I stockpile them when I'm back in the States, and then I do old ones on Sundays so I can have my Sunday morning routine. Moving on to electronics, I travel with a vocal mic and a audio interface. This one should be self-explanatory. My husband and I are both musicians. We make music together, and I've been making music with my old band from Seattle. Self-promotion clip here. So I have to be prepared to record. Last thing in the electronics category is an Apple TV. I didn't think this was that weird, but when I was doing pre-production for this video, people seem to find that weird. I don't know what else I can say about it. It's just how you watch TV. Is that everything I want to say here? Okay, moving on to our last category of sports and recreation. I travel with a pair of ballet slippers, tights, and a leotard. The reason for this is ballet gear is incredibly small and therefore easy to travel with, but very expensive and difficult to find. Even though I knew I probably wasn't going to take classes here in Sayulita because there's no studio here, I still travel with it because in the next city, maybe there will be. And the last thing is my surfboard. I did just get this as a Christmas present, so technically we haven't really traveled with it anywhere, but I wanted to add it to this list because I wanted an excuse to add some gratuitous surfing B-roll. Cue the B-roll. All right, so those are some of the weirder things that we travel with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Now that I'm in flow with this process, I've got a time deadline. 10 a.m. on Tuesday, Central Time. When I was doing research for this, I was looking for other videos or blogs that had lists of like the weird things that people travel with, and I could find nothing. So please satiate my curiosity by leaving me a comment below telling me what weird things you travel with. Maybe we have some stuff in common. Maybe you have weirder stuff than I do. I'm very curious. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you in my next video. What is it called? What is it called? Good Lord, you are so noisy. I'm getting completely lost. What am I talking about? Ballet slippers. Okay, I think we got it.